You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Ready for Love After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Ready for Love After Show.
You have to let that just play for a second when we start.
Let it marinate. Let it marinate.
Right.
Oh, that was YouTube messing up.
There we go.
Carrie got my shirt over here.
Hey everyone, Bing is for doing, and we are doing our 3rd episode for Ready for Love Season 1, Love Connections. I'm your host, Samantha Laich, and I'm joined by my lovely 3 co-hosts tonight. To my left,
I'm Jessica Carroll.
Hi, I'm Tara Johnson.
And I'm Giselle Ugarte, always live tweeting at Giselle Ugarte during the show.
Boom. Okay, let's start off really quickly because we made some promises to you guys last week, and we let you know that Ben Patton was going to be joining us in studio, and unfortunately, due to the network circumstances with this show, if you guys haven't heard, it did get pulled from NBC broadcast. They will still have their new episodes on their website, NBC.com, but as of this Saturday, the show will be airing on E! At 5 p.m. on Saturdays. So make sure to tune in there, and we will have Ben rescheduled in the upcoming weeks. And he will be joining us here in studio.
He's excited to join us.
He is very excited. We just need to get the schedule straight, and he will be here.
I'm excited he's joining us.
Me too.
And Tim gave me a little Twitter tease, too, saying that he was going to come in and perform the I Love You song that I said I was obsessed with.
Oh,
He
for
said
your
he would
wedding.
perform.
Yeah, I was like, you have to come in AfterBuzz and perform it. And he was like, yes, anytime. So hopefully
We are holding you to
that
this.
wasn't just a tease, and he's going to come, and he was going to be on the couch or, you know, my lap, whatever. And
No, this is his dance floor right here.
Right there. I'm with it. Bring it.
Can you imagine? That would be perfect.
I know.
Tim, let's get in touch.
We don't like the teasers.
Yes.
We want to see
No.
it.
Yes.
Live in action. Okay, so this episode, we got to see all 3 men together. We still had 2 full hours to get all of the content that we needed. But we started off with Tim. He was the one that opened the show for us 2 weeks ago. And we got to see a little bit more one-on-one action with more girls because there weren't so many, and there weren't
was
girls
rushed.
just being pulled out by their matchmakers. He actually got to play the calls on this one, and he got to pick the girls. And Matt's advice for this was, you're prepping yourselves for life. So again, he's taking the bigger picture of this. He's not just focused on
I love you, Matthew Hussey.
the let's get through to next week. He's like, this is all about your life.
Did Tracy and Amber really offer any advice or tips this week? It was all Matthew. It was all Matt Hussey, right? Like, I don't think they offered anything.
They offered their advice, I think, given the
Specific.
circumstances.
Yes.
Right.
For
To
like
each girl.
For specific girls.
Yeah, but we didn't get anything really to take away for our own sense, you know,
It could be
outside
editing
of the
though
situation.
too. You know, you never know. And at the
Right.
same time, you also understand that they each have different backgrounds because Matt is used to, you know, he has his book and he has his advice videos that he does, whereas Tracy is a writer, and I don't even think she's always writing about relationships. I think it's maybe one article that took off.
Yeah.
And then Amber has her own, I think, matchmaking service kind of a thing.
I think that's what she does, like, full time.
So who knows what the producers were asking behind the scenes in the confessional, saying like, "Oh, give us a tip for this week," or you know, maybe he just sounds so much better when he gives advice.
Yeah, he needs to keep them coming.
Yes.
He should have his own show, honestly.
I know.
Yeah.
Because every time that he says something, we kind of sit there, we're like, oh,
I
that's
quote him every
brilliant.
week.
Makes so much sense.
Every week I quote him.
brilliant. Yeah.
Well, you could
On
actually
Twitter.
learn so much from just watching the show from Matt.
Yeah.
That's true. And from last week, I was telling these ladies, I've been accepting the jacket.
You took the
all
jacket.
week long.
Metaphorical jacket.
I have it all week long. And
love
the
it.
literal jacket, too. It was offered. I took that, too.
See, Matt, we're learning from you.
Yeah.
Maybe the other ladies didn't.
We're ready
take
for
away,
love,
but-
even if they, you know, might not be.
Exactly. So let's get into some of the ladies. Actually, first of all, their date. How cool was their date? He took them, he woke them up, first of all.
Wait, I love
Hold
how...
on. What? How cool is to be woken up with?
Yes.
No makeup on by someone that you barely know?
No, but how he woke him up, he just like jumps on the bed.
Yeah, that's cute.
That was
I think
so
that's
cute.
sweet.
I loved that. If I had a boy jump on my bed and wake me up, I'd be like, okay.
It just makes you excited.
Best alarm ever. No snooze button on this one.
I prefer the reverse. Because boys look so much better in the morning. Like, I'd want to jump and be like, hey, but that's kind of creepy.
I mean, I think it's cute because regardless of what he had planned, just the fact that he's starting it off like that, you can't help but be excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy is coming there to wake you up, obviously, to get you started because he just can't wait any longer. But some of the girls, we saw their reactions on their faces. They were not too pleased with not being able to do their hair and makeup.
I think they knew. I feel like I saw a lot of those girls with foundation on at least.
I don't think so.
Like, you could see the line right here.
Or are they those girls that just can't not wear makeup?
In this
They go to sleep
situation,
with makeup
that's
in.
possible. Maybe they're like, I'm
be.
going to stay one step ahead at all times.
They know the cameras are
Well,
always
you know,
around.
I mean, sometimes you know if the camera guy says, okay, you know, it's an early call, or it's, you know, maybe some sort of like a hint where they
Hint, yeah.
knew, maybe.
Yeah, they might have had a hint.
Right.
But they must have known that there was going to be makeup and clothing eventually because they did go to LA
Right.
in their pajamas with no makeup.
That's a little extreme. I guess you're right. That's a setup someplace.
I mean, I kind of knew that, I don't know.
I mean, and not only did they get to do their hair and makeup, they got it done for them at a spa and got the whole treatment.
Tanned, blown out, masks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really
Right?
nice.
And
then-
Tim even participated. He put on a little mask himself, too.
Yeah.
I thought that that was actually really cute. The fact that not only was he trying to get one-on-one time with everyone, but he was just kind of hopping in there, like sticking his hands in like the manicure bowl and was like, so how are you doing? How are you feeling?
The only thing I didn't like about it is that he's having this intimate conversation, and I like the fact that at the spa that you are vulnerable and maybe they didn't have their makeup on and all that, but like he's having this intimate conversation with someone as somebody else is like plastering mask on his face, and as you know, like they're like already it's awkward because you have camera people and producers just listening at every single conversation, just like, what are they gonna say? What are they gonna say? And then to have all these other strangers around them too, it's like this is a very intimate date conversation that I'm ready to open up for.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you can only really cover the basics because you are a little distracted and you have like plaster on your face if you're.
I like the
if you're getting
plaster, though.
treatment.
Any dude who just sit
clown
there and
face.
talk to you and it's like, oh, yeah, they're just putting on this clay mask in 7 minutes. I take off. I thought it was great. I don't know many guys would have done that.
He's a rocker. I'm sure he's worn some guy liner in the day.
Exactly. You
That's
have
true.
to think about his lifestyle, and I'm sure that he's used
He's
to just
worn
sitting
makeup
around
before.
Right, getting pampered and him not having to worry about it, so he can go on with his business while everyone else is getting him ready for a show.
Yeah, that's
So I'm sure he's used to it. Haley, our girl Haley, Miss FART, brought
farting
up,
girl.
Miss Vomit.
brought
No,
up
no,
bodily
what is it? I was
functions
going to say
again.
bodily fluids. That's what.
Bodily fluids.
Yeah.
Yeah. and
Don't have potty mouth.
She talked about. I know she.
Yeah, what is her deal? I don't get it. Is that what happens to her when she's
Amber
nervous?
said that they need a teacher, like no potty words.
Yeah, no potty
They're not
words.
allowed. But she just, I feel like completely out of context too, was just talking about how she was throwing up all of a sudden, like as if she was nervous and that was her filler.
Yeah.
Not a good go-to.
No.
She
like
got
word
called out
vomit and
for it.
literally talking about vomit.
Vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she got called out for it. Sarah, who was actually up for elimination last week, she opened up a little bit more to him about it. Did you guys feel anything more from her?
Well, I think the thing is, and it's her story makes me feel very similar to Ben's story with the mom, whereas my fear for her is I don't want that to continuously be the focus. The fiance who passed away, I think she's tremendous to have taken that on and stay with someone through that type of illness, but you don't want that to become your identity. Right. And I'm afraid that's going to become her go-to, and that's going to become her identity, and that's
It has to be
hard
so
to shake.
hard, though.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Because that is a topic that in any normal relationship, you don't just talk about it once and it's like, okay, let's just forget about it.
Yeah.
Right,
You
and
know?
it is a part of who she is now, because not only was that someone that she was with for a while, someone she was engaged to, then it was someone that she was helped fight for his life for 3 years. So it's not like he was just the last guy that she got rid of, you know, or something happened to.
and his name is Tim.
And his name is Tim.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Amber's reaction? She was almost more emotional about it
She
than
was
I had even
emotional.
picked up on. And I feel like I normally pick up on those body language cues of the holding and that kind of stuff, but she was like, her eyes were watery and everything. What did you guys think about that?
I didn't get it. I didn't feel it. I'm sorry. I didn't feel it. I thought it was nice that she opened up and kind of told a story, and we got a better picture of who she was. But the holding and he grabbed you tighter and then he just released. It all went right over my head. I didn't get it. I didn't feel it at all.
Well, because she opened up her, talking about anything like that is so hard to begin with. And so the fact that they did hug and he really reached out and appreciated what her sharing this tough part of her life, I thought that was a true connection, because even just being able to share that loss and, show that after a year of me grieving, I'm ready to find love and I'm ready to find love again. I just thought that that was a connection.
Yeah, see, I personally think that the embrace and the long hug that they had, she said so much more with that than she said explaining the story and explaining how she feels and explaining the situation.
Right.
She physically was just embracing him and almost kind of like collapsed, as if like my walls are gone, and it was just kind of a comfort thing. And I feel like he was almost kind of like there to save her. Like it was kind of a weird body language kind of thing, because he just kind of held her and embraced her. However, we weren't there, so we couldn't really experience it, but it was nothing that I, watching it, would have gotten emotional from, which that's where I kind of was confused why Amber had that reaction. But I did think that... They could have
even played it up with the editing or the music or something.
Yeah.
And they did play music, but maybe Amber has a story like that happened to her in her life.
Yeah,
Maybe.
she could very well relate to that way better than we can through the TV, so that might be why it hit her.
And sometimes in that situation, it kind of puts the other person in an awkward situation. Like maybe Tim was like, okay, I don't really know what to say right now, so I'm just gonna hug you
it out.
and be there for you. And sometimes a hug is all you really need. So maybe that was all they both needed, and so they just did hug it out.
But I wonder if there was really a true connection. I do realize he sympathizes for her and you can empathize with her situation, but I don't know. I didn't feel a real connection.
It wasn't the throwing in the pool that we saw later.
Siam, I think that's how we pronounce her name. We're still learning that, so work with us, listeners. She explained what she said in French the first episode, and Tim was extremely turned on by that.
I must say that was
that
was hot. That was sexy.
It's like, you go, girl. And then I'm thinking, I need to learn another language.
Okay, so French class? Anyone?
Right.
my
Stone?
Spanish
Anyone?
is not enough. Christina, she was the one that they had a piano session basically with last week. She explained the metaphor of this entire experience being a greenhouse. Did you guys pick up on that, or did you think that it was a little odd?
I thought it was a little loony,
there.
and I also noticed that she used metaphor reversed. Like she was saying that the girls were a metaphor for flowers, but I think she was trying to say like flowers are the metaphor for the girls. But either way, I just thought she was just like talking, and because she's a quote poet or lyricist, that she was just like saying things that sounded pretty together and they streamed in a really strategic rhythmic pattern, and the girls were just kind of like,
What are you saying?
huh?
Well, someone set her up. They're like, explain the metaphor that you have, Christina. So I'm waiting for this amazing thing that's going to make me go, I'm going to have my Oprah aha moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't understand what you just said.
Blossoming.
And it went on for a while, because we were like, and then what?
And they really showed the entire metaphor with the editing, and it just kind of went in one ear and out the other for me.
I just don't like her.
I mean,
sorry, I'm just gonna say it.
Here's the thing. I feel like it fits what we know of her so far. I mean, even like her jewelry and the vibe that she's trying to put out, and she's into poetry. So it's not like we were expecting something like that from Shandy or something like that. Then we would have been like, wait, what's going on?
She just seems like a character.
You think?
To me.
I like her. She just completely fell off this week.
Yeah, she didn't have a good week.
And I think
that everyone picked up on that. And I think she knew it.
Yeah.
She was like, I was not on my A game.
Nope.
She didn't get to give her little sensual eyes to him.
Right.
She wasn't ready to bring it. And then we had Jenna, who got Tim's first kiss. She actually let him know. She opened up, and that was her task. She let him know, I'm jealous and I'm protective. Not necessarily in a bad way, but when you're mine, I want to protect you. I don't want to let anyone else have you. I don't want to let anyone hurt you. And she says she does the same for her friends.
And she did exactly what Amber wanted her to do. Amber said, I want you to go to Tim and say something that a side that you aren't as proud of. And she did. She goes, you know what? When I want something, I become very territorial.
Right.
And I thought that was good of her. I mean, she really did open up and she told the truth, and honesty is always a bonus.
I agree, but I don't know. I was like, that's some scary stuff that you're talking.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, when I'm into someone, I want to protect him, and I'm jealous and I'm territorial. And I was like, he's going to run. But I guess I was wrong.
It could go either way. It could be honest, like you said, or it could be, okay, she's going to be at my bed with a knife at night.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that this, out of what we've seen so far in the episodes, this was the best example that we've seen of the matchmaker giving the advice, the girl taking it and doing it, and it working out in their benefit. So I think that she definitely had that going for her. And then a little spontaneity came into it, and he was like, let's jump in the pool. Mind you, she was in a white dress, so let's point that out because that was well planned on Tim's part.
Yeah, strategically planned, maybe.
Hey, at least it was lined.
But it was fun, and I think that they felt very comfortable with each other, and they both enjoyed it. And she actually, he ended up having that chemistry with her, and I think people immediately doubted her from the beginning because she's young. She said that she's straight out of school, so everyone from the beginning. But Matt
made a good point, though, is that if she wasn't so pretty, the conversation would have been very lackluster.
I have to agree.
Because to me, I do like her. I love the chemistry, but the connection that I see is kind of the young and dumb having fun. But that's just me.
I don't know. She's young, and I mean, from what she said, I didn't see any real deep connection below the surface. So I do think right now it's just the physical attraction, and she's pretty.
Which isn't bad.
Yeah,
she's pretty, and she looked really nice, all dolled up in her white dress or whatever. But I just thought
and wet after they jumped in the pool.
Exactly. She was willing to do that, but I think she's fun. She's young, but there was no depth to it. I didn't feel any depth being created from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think instead of it being a young and dumb kind of thing, I think that it was more of like an experience. You know, she did her tasks, she followed the rules, and then she kind of struggled with where to go from there just out of inexperience because she is young. Right. We can't doubt her for that. But
And maybe her jealousy is because kind of in college, you're surrounded by jealous girls. I mean, that's just college. And so she's probably just, that's where her jealousy comes in because she is so young and she is so inexperienced. But I would have no problem jumping in the pool with a boy like that.
Yeah. It's sad. Gone are the days where you can just push someone in the pool without worrying about where their cell phone is.
Yes. Right? Or wrecking the clothes because, hey, you didn't give that dress back anyway.
You're like, hold on, let us get the mics back. Okay, action.
Now
So the matchmakers had to pick a bottom three. One person from each of their teams again. Tracy picked Christina, who we knew was off of her game tonight. Matt picked Tyanaya.
I think that's it. I think you got it. I think you nailed it.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. And Amber picked Haley because of her bodily fluid, potty mouth talk one more time. Tim decided to save Christina right from the start, which I was actually surprised by. I didn't see that coming, to be honest. And then they went down to the garden, and he decided to save Haley. And Tyanaya went home. Tyanaya.
And I think that was like the lesser of two evils. It was kind of like he didn't really have a connection with Tyanaya, and Haley I don't think he has a connection with except maybe going out and catch a couple of beers with her.
Yeah.
So I just think it was like, oh, well.
This was kind of the round that I think that you had mentioned, Terry. You're like, we need a double elimination because we would be completely fine with either of them going at this point.
And there's so many girls, like we were kind of talking about this while we were watching the show, there are so many girls and there are already 3 guys that it's hard to develop a relationship with them as viewer to screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's just hard to kind of keep track of everyone. You can't build the relationship because
root for someone.
You're trying to just keep track of it all, I think. I think that by now the viewers obviously know which guy that they're into the most. But as far as picking which relationship they see coming, I think it's going to take another week or two for everyone to see the relationships building.
Right.
I would love for there to be a twist and all of a sudden on like whatever episode there's like a swap.
Right?
The boys to switch girls.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Maybe in season 2, once they get
figure things out.
Next up, we had Ernesto. And Matt's, we got a little bit of Matt advice at the top of that again. His thing was touch.
Yes.
Love it. It's a great
Yes.
piece of advice.
I all for that. I'm a very hands-on kind of girl.
Are you?
Yeah.
But still PG rated.
In a
Yeah.
nice kind of way.
Yes.
And Ernesto set up for there to be a runway show for all the girls to get dolled up, their hair and makeup done
AKA
as
the
well.
sponsors and the producers.
Yep, sponsors were on this episode. But twist, he had his sister dressed up in a disguise because the girls had a chance to meet his sister if they watched his video on the website or on Facebook. So he wanted her to be there to get her advice, but they didn't want the girls. He didn't want the girls to know who she was. And we saw that work out for good for some of the girls, and then it went not so well for some of them. Cough, cough, Erica.
I was gonna say awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, this is basic stuff, basic communication. Treat people the way that you want to be treated and be nice to everyone because you don't know who you're talking to.
And it's a reality show, so that's the kind of thing that they would throw at you.
Right.
Totally.
You need to be on.
And when there's cameras everywhere, you don't know what's going to be picked
Yeah.
up. So just be nice.
Yeah, it doesn't
And be
matter if
nice
you're
in
talking
general,
to someone or
yeah.
not. Be nice just sitting there. Be nice while you're just sitting there not talking to anyone.
And
her
facial
only-
expressions too. Some of hers were
Horrible.
They
Yeah.
spoke more than she did.
yes.
And her only defense was, I know how I was raised.
Yeah.
And we know how you're showing us that
How
you were
you're raised.
Right. So she was like, I know how I was raised. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not a great
You
defense.
can talk all you want, but
Yeah.
unless you actually show it, we're not going to believe you.
And I didn't like the fact that she apologized to Ernesto, not his sister, who she actually offended. I was
Yeah.
like, you're not gaining points here. Go to the source. He would have probably appreciated even
well,
more.
she stayed.
I
Well,
love that you
again-
pointed that out in the viewing room because his sister had already kind of done the bad talking and was like, I don't like her. She was a 3. And that's who she should have gone to, like you
Totally.
said. You know, kind of fix what you broke there and not just try to go play kiss butt to Ernesto.
Exactly.
And Ernesto probably would have appreciated it a lot more in the long run. Like, why are you apologizing to me? You were rude to my sister.
And get the family on your side. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
had he gone to the
Especially
sister,
his family.
Right, 'cause
Exactly.
he is so close.
Surprised Matt didn't say anything about that. He would know this. He knows how
Maybe if
this
she did,
goes.
we didn't see it.
Exactly.
Possible.
Mandy, she talked with the sister, but she thought that the sister was like a groupie or something, kind of like a huge fan of the show. But she was still sweet to her, so
Yeah.
she went with it. She encouraged it. Mind
And
you,
she liked her.
She did like
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, because she said how he was an entrepreneur and very, so yeah, they had a good connection.
Yeah.
And after the walk, when his sister was actually rating the girls, she said that Mandy and Shandy were her number ones when they rated them. So I think that was actually a really good description of them because we kind of have been feeling that about those two in particular for the last 2 weeks. So at least we kind of know that as viewers, we're not being misled that far if his sister that's in the moment is looking out for his best interest is feeling the same.
Did she talk to Alba at all, or did they just not show it?
They did at the very beginning because she was like, "Oh, you're from Puerto Rico."
Right. Okay. Because I was like, they should have that connection. I knew that would be something being.
She wasn't
Noted.
mean. She didn't totally brush her off, but she definitely didn't take the time to connect with her the way that some of the other girls did.
Get the
Yeah.
points, girl. You got to collect the points where you can.
Right? She just kind of answered the questions
Yeah.
and then moved on with it. And Katie, she was super uncomfortable. We kind of just got, when they were sitting on the bench, Ernesto says that this was set up as one of the most perfect moments. And she kind of just was leaning away from him, but like, I think out of nervousness, not out of like not wanting to be there. Like she had the desire, but she was just frightened almost.
Yeah, and
just kind of
they were sitting far away
Yeah.
from each other.
Yeah.
on a love seat bench, mind
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
So
so it was like, okay, one person here.
But
and
he's not the warmest person either. And you can see, I mean, you hear that he's never said, I love you before. I feel like it was this situation where I was almost like, why don't we see more coaching of the guys? Because the guys are clearly still single too. So
Right.
I feel like they have things that they need to work on. Why are they only coaching the girls? Because Ernesto isn't really warming up to any of the girls. I don't know if it's because he instantly just doesn't feel a connection at all, or
Yeah, he's a tough nut to crack. Wasn't that what Juliana said? Or was that one of Bill's few words? I think it was Juliana, right? Sorry. I think it was Juliana.
It was one of his 5 words.
Yeah, he's kind of tough and really serious. And so we haven't seen him, whereas Ben is kissing everybody. And Tim is really playful with a lot of people.
Yeah,
Ernesto's still kind of lukewarm. He's kind of in the middle.
Lukewarm. I like that.
He's just kind of in the middle, so we'll see.
Yeah, you guys get what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
But as if it weren't uncomfortable enough when Katie was kind of leaning away, then because her task from Tracy was, you know, have him touch you and kind of be physical with him, she literally asked, will you put your arm around me? I mean, she dropped the hint for starters. She said, ooh, it's getting cold out here. He didn't pick up on that. Again, we said he's very private, and he may not just be that forward of a guy. But she actually said, will you put your arm around me?
I think she even said, can I ask you to put your
Yeah,
arm
she
around
did. Like, what's next? Can I ask you to kiss me?
I mean, and then it was followed by crickets. And we kind of all just sat there and were
And
like,
he was just like, sure.
Oh, sure. Okay. I'm going to be like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I thought they were going to go in for a kiss, and then nothing.
I mean, after you ask that, you have to think, one, he wasn't willing, so now he's just doing this because he's not going to say
asked,
no.
yeah.
Right? He was asked. And then where do you go from there?
Well, the matchmaker seemed to think that it was good of her to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Which I'm like,
Tracy was really happy by that.
what?
I think simply because she completed the task.
I
at
think
hand.
that
Did
was
what
it.
she was told.
Yeah, she did what she was told, but I really don't think that it benefited the situation.
But even Matt he even said too, he was like, well, just because the guys are expected to make the first move doesn't mean that they're any good at it. Like,
Which I don't
come on,
think
why
that-
would you have a bachelor who's not man enough to do that kind of a thing? You have 12 or 8, whatever girls vying for your interest.
Yeah.
You can put it in any of them, I'm sure. Like, why?
They're all fighting
That's
for
a
you.
good
You can at least
I'm
put
pretty
your...
sure if he was interested, he would have no problem doing it.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Maybe we should get the matchmakers to give the guys just a few more tips, especially Ernesto.
Well, in the cold pool, they had that hug moment thing when she was cold. Mandy, was it Mandy?
hug moment thing?
The hug moment
Yeah,
thing?
Mandy.
yeah, Mandy.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't get to see the matchmakers really giving any advice to the bachelors themselves this week. So maybe they did get the advice, maybe they didn't.
And
we
he
just
said there was
didn't
something
see
missing,
it.
which we find out eventually.
Exactly. So we'll see how that goes. Then we went to the bottom 3. Tracy, she put up Katie because that was her last girl standing for Ernesto. Not to say that she wouldn't eliminate Katie if she had other girls, because I don't think that it was going that well for them. But
I'm still confused why she didn't have any other girls. Why is
Olivia,
that?
we need to talk about that. Olivia chose to leave.
Oh, right.
Which Ernesto was obviously a little bummed about. I think not because of her actually leaving, but because he didn't get the closure that he wanted. He even said, I don't get to talk to her at all. I think he wanted some answers as opposed to a girl just being like, I'm here for you. I'm here for the right reasons. I gave up this much of my life, and okay, never mind. I'm gonna walk out now.
I'm good.
I was okay with it. I mean, not that, I was okay with her leaving.
Yeah,
I want her to go
think
from last
that
week.
any of us were too heartbroken about it.
Yeah.
And we saw it coming. I mean, she had drama with the girls. One of the matchmakers said, if you can't get along with females, you're going to make a terrible mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And did they say that she's never lived away from her family, and that's why, because she kind of had this fear of just being away from her family? So, but I mean,
I
Trust
have
issues,
to say
perhaps?
that there's nothing wrong with that if you haven't been away from your family.
no, but I mean, to go from away, never leaving your house from your family to a house full of girls.
Exactly.
And you can't talk to your family at
That's a
all.
big
Exactly.
step.
That's not the direction that you should go on your first attempt to be away from your family. You should maybe go on a weekend girls trip to Vegas or something and start slowly.
Right.
If she has girlfriends. I'm just asking.
That's actually a really good point.
Maybe she has all brothers.
Really good point. Amber put up Erica for her bottom 3, which we also saw coming just because of the conflict that she had. She had with the girl that got eliminated last week in the garden. She also had the conflict with the sister. Not good signs.
It's not the way she was raised.
Good point. Good point. And Matt put up Mandy for elimination, which I was kind of shocked by, but
I think, but it sounded like he was doing it just because he knew,
She'd be
you're not.
fine.
Yeah, it was like a safe choice.
And
Yeah.
she didn't complete her task. That's what he was saying. He's like, I know it may sound crazy, but you have to realize that all the things we're giving you is a plan. So
Right.
you have to complete each task.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Giselle, that's actually a really good point because if you think about it, this is a game for the matchmakers. They're in the competition for winning. They want their girl to win. So if you think about it and you see the other girls from the other matchmakers kind of having flaws, why not put in your girl that didn't follow the rule? So you have reason, it's justified because you can explain it that way. But you also know that she's not going anywhere because you know that they have something that's actually valid and true. So you're like, okay, well, yeah.
You.
Mandy, you can go in.
Because I know you're going to come back.
You came back?
Totally.
Yeah, super
But I did like what he said about how he said something along the lines of there's nothing sexier than someone with certainty, like than absolute certainty.
Knows
And I
what she
loved
wants.
the way that Mandy was like, fine, that's right, because I know I'm coming back. Like she stepped up
Right.
to the plate.
Yeah.
She didn't let it deflate her, as we saw in the next, which we'll talk about in a minute with Ben and the girl. I don't remember, but Matt said the deflate comment.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay,
For her
yes.
opening up and it not going the way she wanted. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay, before we do,
And then Matt said, you either get excuses or the guy.
Can't have both.
She's like,
Can't
I
have
love the
both.
guy.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's a
and
good one.
she stepped up again, like you both said. So
Right.
it was a good move on her part.
I like her.
Did we talk about Alba with the 2 dogs thing?
We
Oh,
did not
yeah.
know. See,
Yeah.
so many girls.
Alba told Ernesto that she sleeps with both of her dogs in her bed, even though they have doggy beds.
Right. Which, again, I don't think that is an issue until he kind of made it an issue and was like, that's not cool with me. She was very persistent. Like the matchmakers pointed out, she was not willing to compromise. She wasn't willing to give in on that at all. And that's where the problem laid because Matt said, if you're not going to compromise sleeping with your 2 dogs instead of me, what else are we really going to fight about?
And that's some
perfect.
really interesting insider information that I never would have thought about. I'm thinking we're having a conversation about where my dogs sleep, and you've taken it 10 years down the road, thinking, well, how are we
What
going to
about on the babies?
Yeah, we're going to compromise on the babies and
Where are
retirement
children gonna
fund,
go
and
to school?
all that kind of stuff. And you're like, I had no idea. Now I know. Thank you, Matt Hussey.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like she's sleeping with anyone else in her bed right now, so maybe she just wants company with her dogs. Like, I don't really think that's a big
Or
deal.
are the dogs a metaphor?
Since we're into that today.
Well, Elba was safe. She didn't go anywhere. We all like her. We were hoping she would
Yes.
stay around. But Katie, Miss Uncomfortable, was eliminated tonight.
Uncomfortable.
Again, I vote for double elimination. I
We
want
could've-
Erica out of there.
I mean, at least we can tell that the matchmakers know what they're doing because we're like, okay, good. And then we kind of know which one he should pick, or at least we're hoping so. And the guys, the bachelors, have been able to pick the right lady so far.
Yeah.
So then I think by the time we get to the garden, we haven't really been swayed because there's so many ladies left to really kind of push for one girl as opposed to the other.
Right.
But before we move on to Ben, if you guys are not, or if you are tuning in to AfterBuzzTV.com or watching us on YouTube, make sure to go over to iTunes and check out our show there as well. Make sure you rate, comment, take a second. We also are now available on your mobile devices, your iPhones, your iPads. I think we have
Smartphones.
Yeah, all smartphones. You can watch us there live feed as well. So make sure to check that out.
Don't miss us.
so many
Oh
ways.
we cannot bring him onto this show. That cannot be related. Okay, moving on. Ben.
What would Ryan Lochte do?
Ben, I have to say, this was my favorite date of the 3 that were on the show tonight because he took all of his ladies salsa dancing.
Salsa.
I want to know where they went because he was like, I'm taking them to the best salsa dancing place in Los Angeles. I'm like, what?
I know. We
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
paused
I'm like,
and we're
how do you take me there?
And we
We're
heard
gonna
no
have
name.
an AfterBuzz salsa dancing lesson.
Oh yeah, get it.
So
Ben,
I'm
do you want to
ready.
come join?
Take us there.
ready
We don't
to-
know where you're going to take us, but as the ladies all shimmy forward.
I know. I'm like, I'm ready. Getting warmed up. I'm ready to go. I'm shimmying. I'm ready.
So
They
obviously,
shimmy and salsa? Is that it?
I have no idea, but that's what I'm feeling right now.
And their
shimmy.
skirts that they were wearing, their outfits.
Oh, gosh.
Love the whole package.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, they got decked out, so they were definitely in the mood for salsa dancing, which, again, I think if we take a look at the different dates that the 3 guys had, It does not surprise me that Ben had salsa dancing because he has been the most physical thus far in the season. We've seen him make out with the most ladies. So it's kind of a good date for him because he's very physical. He likes to touch. He likes to get to know the girls. He likes to hang out with the girls. And he even said, you know, when you're dancing, you can get a sense, you don't have to know what you're doing, but you get a different sense of chemistry and kind of a relationship from these ladies. And that's, I think, what he's looking for at the end of the day to kind of start off his checklist.
I thought it was interesting, though, how one of the girls was making a comment on how he was leading and he wasn't really that great.
That was Taryn.
And Amber said, get in the rhythm with Ben. And she was actually said that he wasn't even that good and that he had bad rhythm and she wanted to take charge because she was the dancer. Okay, I guess did Amber's tip go in one ear and out the other?
Well, she did. She did. She said eventually I gave in and it was fun.
Okay.
But I'm just commenting on the fact of, like, I don't know, the bad rhythm thing, bad potentially in other places, metaphorical, dance floor.
I mean, I think that wasn't that he couldn't dance. It's just he wasn't on the beat that she wanted him to be on.
Exactly what Giselle's talking about. Is he on the beat?
But let's just say that if a man that looks like
He's
that...
going this way and she's going that way. I mean...
Metaphor.
It's late, I'm sorry.
I know.
Sorry, it's late.
It's late, and it's salsa dancing, and physical things are on the mind, apparently.
He seemed to know what he was doing with the rest
Ben
of the
Patton, he
ladies.
just retweeted me.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben.
He's ready for love.
Ben.
So we had Katie that he had the first sit down with. She's the mom of two. And unfortunately for her, that's the only thing that they've really focused on this far in the show. And we haven't really gotten to see that much more of her. Matt said at the end, I want you to have a new identity. I want you to be blonde goddess.
The hot blonde goddess.
Yeah, she was down for it. She was good, but I think
Matt
the
wanted her to
damage
be.
was already done.
Or wait. Never mind, I think I heard you wrong. Sorry.
She owns a Pilates studio. Clearly, she should have a banging body. I mean,
She does.
She does have
Right?
a
really pretty.
Really
Gorgeous.
pretty, banging body, great shape. Play it up.
Kids.
I mean, I couldn't believe she had 2 kids. I was a little disturbed that I know the name of her kids are Avery and Jackson. I'm like, I should know their names.
And that they're 10 and 8.
Exactly.
You are devoted to this show. That is amazing.
Well, but it clearly has become her identity.
Right.
See, I personally wasn't bothered that much because I do think that part of that does have a lot to do with, like, her as a future. Like, I love the fact that Ben asked her, do you want to have more kids? Because he obviously wants to have kids too. I think that is an important question that you can't help but to ask her about it. But yeah, I wanted to see more goddess.
More about her. But then again, when you are a mom, a lot of you are your children.
Exactly.
So it does make sense that that is part of her image, but I think she needs to now do something for herself and focus more on her.
Right.
I was a little sad at the end of the episode when she almost kind of seemed a little bit regretful as all that she is a mother to everyone, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. You need to pride yourself on that. No one is dissing that by any means. It's just if you are trying to express something other than that, you need to talk about something other than that because otherwise the only thing that he knows, and that's a personal experience from him that Ben said himself, you know, my mother was a single mother and she did the same thing, so I can really relate. So I think that that's why he kind of just picked up on it.
Yeah.
But things didn't work out so well for her. We'll get to there. But let's talk about Carrie really quickly first because she's still here. We do, unfortunately.
We have
Carrie,
to.
the ex-girlfriend.
He might be engaged to her right now. You never know.
Oh, please. No.
Okay.
But we'll talk about Carrie. She went back instantly to ex-girlfriend mode. She put the claws back in, and when she found out that he was making out with girls again, she was not pleased. And she made that very clear.
Well, would you be?
Yeah, but of course you don't want him kissing other girls. No one on the show does.
Right.
But the fact that she brought it up is just proves that she can manipulate him and she can control him. You know, because she made him feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that she thinks she has the place and the power to say, it's time for me to shut this down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not your gig, honey.
That rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, completely rubbed me the wrong way. Because in her mind, she has him already. She's just playing, let him play with these other women until he really opens his eyes and realizes that I'm the love of his life. So,
Like, how dare you kiss those girls?
Exactly.
You're my boy.
But looking on the other side of it too, if you were to be, say, just a random competitor, and I don't know, I feel like if I was in that position, I'd want to feel like I'm dating that person too, whether it's an early on relationship or whether it's something that could potentially turn into, as the intentions are, love.
Right.
So in a way, she's kind of playing it the way that someone who would be smart about it, like, would play it. Like, well, everyone's kissing you. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to play the game that most people do when they're getting to know somebody or dating someone in that regard. But it's just hard because we have this picture of her as this villainess who's, you know, just trying to manipulate him. Or as Matt said, you have that attractive person who you're scared of going back to, or who has that power over you. And so it's difficult for us to be able to differentiate whether she's being genuine or whether she's just trying to be a bitch and steal the show, shut it down.
I don't know, the way she said it, maybe you are right, maybe just because we have this image in our head already. The way she said it made me feel like kind of like a how dare you.
It was manipulative.
Yeah.
Like she had more control, or she had something over all the other girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
Like, it's not her call.
Right.
And that's how she kind of made it. She was doing fine, and I think until, like, everything that you just said, Giselle, until she kind of made it like her rule, and she kind of played the mom card almost, as like, don't be a lip slut.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's not really you to decide.
Yeah, that was the wording of that. She sort of,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's totally right. She needs to play the game, but I think he's waiting for her to either show that she has changed or if she's the same person that she was before. So I think if she's going to play the game correctly, she needs to prove to him that I'm not who you were when we dated so many years ago.
Exactly.
And I think she's failing miserably in that.
Perfectly said. I agree.
But Ben did say that they had great chemistry in the past, and he was talking about her a lot, kind of in that way. And then after Ben said, well, we had great chemistry, she goes, yeah, and if I did kiss you, I'd probably just make out with you. So
I don't know. They just keep going back to the
She's dangling that string, just dangling.
Yeah, we need to move on with her, or we just need her to move on.
Please.
She can stay, but let's just move on regardless.
Yes.
The bottom three for Ben.
not even in the bottom three.
That was a move.
Yeah.
That was a straight matchmaker move right there.
Or producer move.
Oh, yes.
Drama. Tracy decided to put Katie in the bottom, who is the mom of two. Amber decided to pick Taryn, and Matt decided to pick Beth. The first person that that Ben picked was actually Taryn, which I think, at least I'm speaking for myself, I was a little surprised, but I didn't think that he would have been her first, or she would have been his first pick.
yeah.
And then they went down to the garden, and he actually eliminated Katie, which I think was a very
I was
strong
shocked.
move on his part, but also it is to be admired because he knows that she's got two kids at home.
Right.
And if he doesn't feel like it's something strong enough for it to win the entire thing and end up going home with at the end of the day, then don't waste her time. Let her go back to her life and move on.
True.
And she said that she really respected that, which I think was awesome. They ended everything on a perfect note in a very classy way.
Yes.
Tied it with a bow. Boom.
Yes, beautiful.
I do like how, I don't really like it, I just think it's funny, that if you watch until the very, very end, there's like a small little snippet that says like, some scenes have been like edited or reproduced or whatever. Yeah. It's like the last
You mean
scene.
the two dresses that Juliana's had on for 3 weeks now? That's edited? What? I had no idea.
She's
Taking me
changed today.
completely by surprise. She did.
She did.
That was dress number 3.
And they probably filmed the first 2 episodes all in one day, because
Right.
technically
Right.
it was
It
probably
was.
supposed to be one episode, but then Tim got his shining moment for the premiere.
Yes.
Boom. Let's get into some news and gossip.
Yes.
TV News.
Okay, so for those of you that are nervous, anxious, excited, whatever you are, thinking that Eva Longoria and Ernesto have bunked up together, The rumors, according to Eva's rep and herself, they're not true. Eva herself.
That would be so hot.
I know.
She tweeted, "Sorry, Ernesto is not dating me, but you can see who he is dating on #ReadyForLove tomorrow night on ABC after #The Voice."
Oh, wow.
So is she just playing with words there? Like,
I think it was
maybe
a
he's
clever
courting
plug.
her, or maybe he's
I've heard
making
that.
sweet, sweet love to her.
I mean, I've
Well,
heard that
Ernesto
she's
is not
actually-
opening up to a lot of the girls.
Makes
So
a good
maybe they had a
point.
connection.
Opening up
Maybe
to
she's
Eva.
opening up to Ernesto.
Yeah.
I know that
Metaphorically
Eva,
speaking.
Oh, the metaphors. The metaphors.
she has gotten really close to all
Or literally,
three guys.
quite literally. Sorry.
She has gotten really close to all three guys throughout the taping. She said even before the show aired that she handpicked all three of them. So she knows who they are, what kind of people that they are. And if her sisters weren't married, she would very happily fix any of the guys up with her sisters. That's how much she cares for them. So I think that we can trust her on this one for now until given evidence that it's completely platonic and they are good friends.
Hey, I would love it if they matched up. I feel like that would be a great couple.
Me too.
I am a fan.
Me too.
Well,
I'm
our
a fan.
other gossip, People Magazine actually reported that Ernesto, quote, did find love and I'm very happy. So he did not specify whether or not the love that he found was with a contestant, with an
Or the
executive
producer.
Exactly.
We don't know,
But he's happy.
But apparently he is happy and he did find love. And Ben also said that he is still with the same person since filming ended. And in the previews last week, we saw somebody
Pull out a
Ring.
somebody put a ring on it.
Yeah.
They are ready for love.
Clearly.
Or
right.
are they?
Let's get into predictions and let's see what you ladies have to say about next week.
Oh, next week.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Predictions. Whoa, my phone's freaking out. It's freaking out. It's freaking out for predictions, apparently. It's like blinking. It's like the
Tara,
Twilight Zone.
What
Sorry,
do
Tara.
you think that we're going to see next week? Mind you, by next week, I mean Saturday at 5
At 5.
p.m. on E.
On E.
Correct.
Can I give a wish?
Yes, of course.
A double or triple elimination. Boom.
Yes.
That's my wish.
Let's get these girls out of here.
That's what I would like.
Giselle, what
Narrow
about you?
them down a little.
I don't think Alba actually leaves. I think she threatens to, and I think there's going to be some like Latin romantic, dramatic something to where she comes back.
I like
And
it.
I
hope
really
so.
want Ernesto to make out with someone
Yes, that was
who I
mine.
like. Who I like.
I think we actually saw that. I think he does make out in the previews. I think he does make out
Shandy
with
says
someone.
that it's a first kiss that deserves a crown and sash. Or if she
Yes.
could give a crown and sash to a first kiss, that would be it.
So we
All
see
right.
some
Speaking of,
lip
I need to
action.
return her email. Shandy, I'm getting to you.
Jess, what do you think's coming
Well,
up?
that was mine. I really wanted to see Ernesto's first kiss. And in the previews, we see someone maybe saying that she was into women at one point. So I'm looking forward to
Christina.
that.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Where's that come from?
To get a little bit more information about that. When you say something that has that sort of weight with it, we deserve an explanation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we will get one next week. In the meantime, ladies, how can everyone get in touch with you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sika Carroll, SICACARROLL.
I'm Tara Johnson. Love being here with you, talking about all this Ready for Love. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TJ Path to Passion.
And you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Vine.com at Giselle Ugarte, GISELLEUGARTE. And if you're tuning onto YouTube, subscribe to my channel, Sprinting Stilettos TV.
Check her out.
And you guys can follow me on Twitter at Samantha_Laich, LAICH. And you can follow all of us here at AfterBuzz at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter as well.
And comment. We love talking about it.
See you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.